Hello, YouTube, GZTV back with another morning video. After this, I'm going to go watch some Dexter. I'm really excited for that. But we have the plot for The Walking Dead here. We are here on the 4th episode of Season 9, which means we should be a quarter of the way through the season. I know in some of the later seasons they made the seasons more episodes, but I'm not sure. So, yeah, let's just talk about the plot. Critical reception, you know exactly how these go. So, in Alexandria, Michonne oversees the community, raising Judith and writing her proposed code of laws for the community. But at night, ventures off to fend off walkers. Maybe she's like trying to take her anger out. Maybe she needs a break from the community. I'm not really sure why she does this. During one event, she loses her katana briefly and finds the closest weapon at hand to defend herself, a baseball bat. Again, just not really sure what she's doing here, but whatever. This causes her to start considering Negan held within a cell inside Alexandria. There you go. I mean, I guess there's that. You know, Negan had the bat. Yada yada yada. You get it. Maggie, Daryl, and the Oceanside group conspire to assassinate Negan. So, like, those are people that want Negan killed. Obviously, the Saviors don't want to, and a decent amount of the Alexandrians are agreeing with Rick and Michonne, or kind of just going along with Rick and Michonne to keep him alive. They know Rick will not let Maggie into Alexandria. She has made her intentions clear and start to work out a plan to bring Maggie into Alexandria without Rick's knowledge. So they're pretty much trying to sneak her in there. Jesus, who is hesitant about this course of action, covertly contacts Rick to warn him. Jesus is a snitch, but then again, this would be really bad, considering that the Saviors are already like trying to revolt against their rules and stuff. It's probably not a good idea to go and kill their former leader. So maybe Jesus made the right call. Rick is overseeing the takedown of the bridge construction camp, as without the Saviors, it is unlikely they will be able to finish the bridge in time before rising waters wash it away. The Saviors don't want to work with them right now because they think they killed their friend. Eugene warns Rick of two large hordes seen in the area, but both are moving divergent to their routes. Rick gets Jesus' word and decides to head to Alexandria to stop. He's got bigger fish to fry. He's got to stop Maggie from approaching Negan and killing him, possibly. He contacts one of the Alexandria watchpoints to tell them to be on the lookout for Maggie, unaware that the watchpoint is a member of Oceanside and complicit in Maggie's plan. She's like, yeah, whatever. She hangs up the walkie-talkie and doesn't do shit. She just stays at her post, which is great. I love it. It's funny. It was one of the young girls. I can't remember her name. She's a pretty big character. When Rick prepares to go by horseback, Daryl offers to drive him there instead via motorcycle. Rick becomes concerned when Daryl purposely misses the turnoff for Alexandria. And yeah, we know that Daryl is going along with Maggie's plan, and he wanted to take him by motorcycle so he could take him off the road and distract him. He demands Daryl stop the bike, and the two get into a fist fight. Both end up falling into a deep pit off the road that they cannot easily climb out of, so they kind of both got each other in this situation. They realize their conflict with Daryl, reminding Rick how many people have helped him and how some of his decisions have come to hurt those and others, like Glenn. And they kind of have this long conversation, and it's really interesting. The two agree to work together to escape the pit. Meanwhile, Michonne has gone to see Negan after learning he is on a hunger strike and gives him food, demanding he eat. And she's trying to strike up some conversation. She's trying to get him to eat. He agrees on the condition. Yeah, he agrees on the condition she stays and talks, and they talk about some pretty personal stuff. The two talk about their past, Negan having lost his wife Lucille and Michonne having lost her son Andre. So obviously they have some things in common. During a second visit, when Negan asks what happened to his baseball bat Lucille, Michonne asserts it's still in the field, causing Negan to fall into anguish. And that's one of the main, obviously Lucille, his bat, he named it after his wife. It's pretty much symbolic of his wife at this point. And it's one of his most important things he has in life. Which is pretty sad that a fucking inanimate object is that for you. But that's what the apocalypse does to you. At the scavenger's junkyard, Anna secured Gabriel and threatens to let loose an armless walker on him to bite and kill him. Gabriel tries to convince her to let him go, apologizing for his own past mistakes. Anne cannot bring herself to kill him and instead knocks him out. which who knows what she's going to do then. When Gabriel awakes, he finds himself alone in the junkyard, a note from Anne in his coat, explaining that she has left for places unknown. And she can't quite trust him yet, so she's leaving behind there. At the construction camp, the remaining survivors are prepared to move out when a group of saviors led by Jed hold them at gunpoint, and they're trying to make a stand. They're trying to stand up for the saviors or whatever. Saviors are the only people going against anything right now. He demands the group turn over weapons for the saviors to protect themselves, since they know Oceanside has been killing off the other saviors. They can kind of figure that out by now, but some of these kills have been quite justified. Carol lowers her weapon, but then when Jed approaches her, she attacks him. She does the same thing she did in the forest. He's like, that little weak shot you gave me you're not gonna get away with it now. And she literally does it again, which is honestly kind of comical. A firefight breaks out. Rick and Daryl hear the sounds of gunfire and rush to escape. They gotta get the hell out of there. That's not good. As they struggle to climb, walkers from one of the approaching hordes, drawn by the sound of gunfire, start falling in the pit, but both still manage to get out alive. I mean, it's kind of like the plot convenience. You can't kill characters that major now. Rick sees a loose horse nearby and offers to lead the walker horde away from camp while Daryl drives off to warn them, because, yeah, shooting is going to cause more than a two-way fight. We're going to have fights with walkers as well. Rick on horseback leads the horde along, but is surprised when the other horde that Eugene warned him of is converging on the same point, so that's probably not good. The horse becomes frightened by the two hordes and rears, knocking Rick off its back. Rick lands hard on a concrete block and finds a piece of rebar has impaled his side, and he's unable to move. Rick loses consciousness as the two hordes converge on him. And in this situation, it seems that it's impossible for him to survive, but given what this show is, I'm sure they'll figure out a way. A lot of people are talking about this episode. It got a 90%, 7.57 out of 10 with 20 reviews in the Rotten Tomato platform. The Obliged continues the season streak of excellent episodes, bolstered by a bittersweet performance from Andrew Lincoln, and it's going to be interesting to see how exactly he gets out of that situation on the rebar. But leave a like, comment, subscribe. I don't really have much to say about the episode. It's pretty straightforward and to the point. I like what happened here, and we're going to see what happens with Maggie and how she carries out her plan. I'm going to watch that tomorrow, actually. Today we're watching Dexter. Literally right after this, I'm going to boot up my Dexter and watch it. I got a little bit of homework today. We're going to listen to Jack Harlow's album, by the way, and probably post it tonight, so you guys don't